We are live and in the house. Hello, everyone
Hi, party
listening.
people.
Hello to the Fab Lifers party fucking people. Let's get this show on the road. You ready for 40 minutes of non-stop nonsense? Give me a hell yeah.
Hell yeah. I thought you were going to say non-stop bullshit. I was like, where's he going with this?
I was going to say twaddle, tripe, nonsense, bullshit. Just, but enough about me. How are you, Lauren?
Oh, I'm good. If you're watching on the U of the Tube this week, I have caked the makeup on today because Dolly's hungover.
Oh, I like the hair. It's kind of up and it's like,
kind of... Bet Lynch, isn't it,
Yeah, it almost looks like an upside down trifle. And it's very, because, the red's usually on the back, but you've got the yellow. Yeah, I don't like trifle. I'm not a fan. Well, I hate custard. Do you know that? Oh, no. I can't stand custard. Yeah, I don't like it.
I'd have thought it. That's like, I love a custard dessert.
No, so if anyone offers me like a custard tart or even a donut with custard in, I'll say...
Slice. Oh,
no, I don't mind if it's got a little tint of, a little hint of custard, maybe. But if something is mainly custardy, like if someone said to me, apple pie, for example, apple crumble, love an apple crumble.
But
do you want custard on it? I'd say, no, thank you. I would sometimes have cream, but I wouldn't even go for cream. I'd probably go for...
That's dry.
I'd probably go for just ice cream, maybe ice cream.
What about a nata? A pastel de nata, those Portuguese tarts?
I'm going to have to ask you what a natter is, because in my vocabulary, a natter is basically what we do every week. And hundreds and hundreds of listeners tune in to our nattering. But go on, Portuguese slice.
Do we have any Portuguese listeners? I'm trying to think. I've not looked at the stats in a while.
Oh, we'll have to check the stats. We'll just have to check the stats.
They're like little...
we are global. I'm really hoping that lovely lady in Poland keeps listening, because it's basically currently only about one listener in Poland. And if she stops, we've lost Poland, basically. We've lost Poland.
Yeah, we've lost Poland. We're out of them comedy podcast charts in Poland if she stops listening, let me tell you.
Yeah, like if people say, do people listen all over the world? I go, yeah, all over the world, Japan, Poland, and they're like, oh wow, and they just assume, countries in between that would probably listen to it. But if we just lose Poland, it's just like, yeah, Japan,
Ireland,
basically.
Ireland, that counts.
We've got some New Zealanders. Have
you noticed we've reached the UAE as well? I've maybe mentioned this before. We are totally
listen,
over there, all that way over there.
Well, if maybe someone's just holidayed in Dubai and they're listening to us over there. But if we break the UAE, I'm not sure I would be safe enough to go over there.
No.
You know what I mean? The gays.
They're not fans.
You'd have to do the tour. You'd have to do the tour.
I would.
I'd just have to do it by
talking to myself. We do it by one of them big aquariums, though. Those like huge aquariums. Speaking of which, really random. I've just my Facebook and my TikTok keep suggesting like whale videos. Like whales jumping out the sea and shit, which is quite fun.
Right.
But now I'm obsessed with it. It's so like you can sit there for hours just looking at. They're so big. It's just something there on the side. Thought I'd tell you.
Well, I'm glad it's taken TikTok to educate you on how big whales are. They're just so big.
They're so big. Well, everyone's seen the one in the Natural History Museum, haven't they, on the ceiling? And you're like, what the fuck? That's so massive. But when you see a real one on a video, whew, madness.
Oh. Well, I don't know if you've ever found yourself in a YouTube hole, but I was in a YouTube hole. When we went to, not we, but when Russia went to war with Ukraine,
you were at the front,
I started freaking out.
With your baton.
No, I wasn't. I was the opposite. I was in my bedroom Googling how to survive a nuclear attack, and I know exactly how to survive one, or how best to survive.
Yeah, tell us.
Oh, yeah. Don't go out for about about 48 hours, take your clothes off. And I hate that. I just don't like getting naked as it is. So, but don't take the clothes off that, you know, you're wearing. Hide yourself. I'm not making light of this, by the way. Yeah. And wait at least 48 hours, apparently. And try and go in the middle of the house or somewhere like this wall. Like, don't go kind of, you know, in a conservatory or anything close to. Just get indoors. Anyway, that's by the by. I also, like, in the video, it was like, in the event of a nuclear attack, you are possibly quite likely to just be vaporized, so you wouldn't have to do this. But in the event that you can survive, here's what you do. Oh my God. Anyway, so that video then started suggesting other survival videos. Well, let me just say, it's clearly working because I'm still here. I'm fucking surviving. I'm like Gloria Gaynor. I am. I'm Elton John meets Gloria Gaynor. I'm still standing and I will survive. And I'll tell you what I know how to survive is what to do, which is what I've watched, and you should all go and watch this video, right?
Link
Lauren
below.
More Than Most.
Link below.
Yeah. Just coming up on the screen here.
Just here, guys. Click the link.
I have watched a video called How to Survive Being Swallowed by a Whale.
Because you could accidentally get swallowed by a whale because they're very nice to humans.
Look what happened to Pinocchio. Look what happened to Pinocchio.
But if they're just going for the
and
fish,
he lived to tell the tale, didn't he?
So how do you survive it? Tell me.
Well, it started the video off by saying, in the unlikely event that a whale swallows you whole and you're still alive. So I think it kind of started with, you're most probably going to die, because it said something like the acid in its stomach will like just kind of, I don't know, melt.
Yeah, oh my God.
Anyway, so it basically, from what I recall, I didn't take too much notice of the video. Like, I was a bit like, okay, I should watch this, but I'm going to probably take more notice of the nuclear attack or like the World War III happening than being swallowed by a whale. But, you know, you're not going to find who knows where life could take me.
Who knows?
Anyway, so it said just wait. And I was thinking, well, what do you think I'm going to fucking do? Like, run around the whale's belly being like, excuse me, can I speak to the manager? Thank you. Like,
there's a guy still down there from the last time he swallowed someone. You're like, oh, hey, mate, you're right.
Well, no, I think there was a story about a guy that did get accidentally swallowed. And what the whale does, like, whales don't eat humans. Like, they're not interested in humans.
Fish, isn't it? All about the krill or whatever.
All about the fish. It's all about that. So it's in the event that you've accidentally been swallowed. And then what it'll do is it could, like, sick you out. And it was like, if the acid from the sick of the stomach acid doesn't, like, melt you or whatever. But, like, I was just a bit like, will it not be flooded with water? Like, will you not drown? But I guess the stomach isn't flooded with water. It'll probably have a bit of water in it and you'd be like swimming. Oh, God, can you imagine?
Oh, God, it'd stink as well, wouldn't it? Just imagine the smell.
Oh, it would absolutely stink. And I'd be like, fucking Jiminy Cricket, where is Jiminy Cricket? Come on, let's get it. Because in Pinocchio, didn't he tickle the inside of the whale's stomach or something and it sneezed? Oh, I don't even like it. I was saying last week, people... Oh, yeah. Oh, God, chance would be a fine thing. But I was saying last week how people give me the ick when they blow their nose. Imagine getting blown out of a whale's nose. Oh, it'd be a story to tell. It'd be like, you know, when you're in those icebreaker situations and they're like, we're going to go around the group and give a random fact about ourselves. Do you want to start, Debbie? Debbie's like, I'm allergic to cats. And then you go, right, Tony, have you got a fact? My mother was only born with one thumb. Lee, I have been sneezed out of a whale's stomach. I don't know where it was. I was thinking, how would I get from the stomach to the nasal passage? Anyway, people would think I was a compulsive liar. I have just gone on, weirdly, weird roller coaster ride of whale.
Well, I love that you'd watched that video, because I ended up watching a video and it was like, never go near. You know, you said nuclear attack, and I was already thinking about this video. Apparently, when a whale is like beached, beached whale, well, which would be me next week when I'm on my holidays. Stay away from it for 48 hours as well, because it'll explode because of all the stomach acid in there, and it builds up, and then it there's so much acid and methane, and then it explodes. So someone has to come, like a professional, and like pierce it basically to let it all out, and it's like flipped cars and shit, so it could kill you. So never go near a beached whale. God. Yeah. Awful.
No, well, you can tell that is probably good advice, because I think people would be there like trying to push it back in or getting selfies and stuff, and like
getting on top. Like, someone apparently sat on top for like a picture, and then they got like shot in the air.
Oh my God, it'd be like a bucking bronco, wouldn't it? You just wouldn't know what happened.
That's worse than the mucus.
Sat on top of the whale and it just explodes. Well, at least they'd die with a smile on their face.
I know they would. Right, hit the spot, very powerful.
Like when you're on a bumpy bus. She died doing what she loved best, being blown in her vagina. I'm going to say it. That's where we were going.
Everyone knows what you just filled in the blank there for everyone anyway. Hey, I'm three drink Lauren today. I'm doing a you. I've got a tea.
Oh, Jesus, what's happened here?
And a water.
Oh, my God. So are you...
Well, I'm all right now.
You love a Sunday session, don't you? We're recording this on a Monday this week, and you love a Sunday session.
I do. It's like my favourite thing, but because today was like the first day technically of my holiday from Dolly Sticks, yesterday was my last market, so I hadn't drunk all weekend. Freddie had been out on a stag do on Saturday. I'd had like one Negroni last week, that was it. So I was like, I'm getting drunk today because I don't have to take any of this stock home. Like, let's fucking sell out.
Yeah.
And I knew I'd even like tidied the flat, so I didn't have to come home and do any like, like admin. Like a lot of the time I have to come home from the market and I have to like sort loads of stuff out. But I'd already prepped,
before you can relax.
Yeah.
And where did you go?
I just hung out when I do Lower Stable Street at King's Cross. Everyone's just really nice. We all just hung out there, and then they had this they just opened a magnum of prosecco on the bar to make someone an Aperol spritz, and then they were shutting the bar, so they just brought it over to us, and we just necked it. I spilt it. Oh God, I spilt it twice. I spilt my drink twice. Wet through I was.
Oh my God.
And that was my jeans, not a bus situation. Yeah. But had a lovely old time.
She sat on the Magnum.
Sat straight on that Magnum, yeah. Wait for it to pop.
Oh, Christ, that'd hurt.
Oh, it would. Oh, I'm actually I'm thinking about that too much.
Because the thing is, that wouldn't kill you. It wouldn't kill you, would it? It would severely hurt.
Yeah, it'd be a very embarrassing A&E trip as well. Trying to
or it'd just go like right up you, and it'd come out you like a Pez. Do you remember Pez?
Yeah. I love the action. I'd always beg my mum for a new one, and she'd be like, "No, just get the refills." And I'm like, "But now I want Donald Duck," like.
The refills.
You could never fucking find
to take me back to a time where life was just wondering where you'd get your next Pez refill from, and if your Tamagotchi was still alive. Honestly.
Oh God, mine went into 40 odd days. It was quite good. I was quite good. Who knew? How was all like your gigs? Because that silky shirt's done the runs, isn't it? You can never wear that again now.
I know. So that's... Well, the thing is, I packed very lightly, so it was intentional. I just thought, I'm going to pack that shirt. I like it. And I just washed it. But I did wear it like... I wanted to wear it this Wednesday, because I've got a gig. And I just thought, I can't. Because if I put now stuff up, people will just be like, all right, like, you've seen that
You could have a uniform, though. Some people have, like, a uniform, they gig in the same outfit, don't they?
Well, there are certain shirts which I feel are, like, stand-up shirts. So that's one of them. I have to say, I wear that shirt, right? So I did a gig in Newton Le Willows. We've not talked about that. So I was in Newton Le Willows. Lovely people there. And they're going... And I'm in the toilets, and this guy goes, "Bloody hell, that's a nice shirt, mate. Good Lord." I don't think he said good Lord, but he was like,
"Oh, God, Miss Molly, that's a good shirt."
Oh, my giddy aunt. David, come and have a look at this little boy's shirt. He's drinking moonshine and wearing the shirt with butterflies on.
He would not welcome the saloon with that on.
And then there was some women, and they were like, "Ooh, that's a nice shirt. By God, that a good shirt. I'd like a stroke of that little shirt, baby boy." So they were like complimenting it, and I was like, "Girls, I'm not surprised to be won." Anyway,
Right, Jasmine.
And then someone was like, "Is it Versace?" I was like, "It is now. It's for like 25 quid from ASOS." But
it is a bit Versace, isn't it? Versace.
Verse Ace. That's my granda bio. A verse ace. And so no. So then I was in Birch. Lovely
Birch community. Which, oh my God, was it delicious?
It is a bit of a community. Well, I went on stage and I was like, "Listen, I've got a question for you all." I was like, "What is this place?" And they all just burst out laughing because I'd said, "Is this a cult?" And they were like, "It's an expensive cult." I was like, "Okay, it's fine if it's a cult. I just needed to know." Anyway, free bar, and I had like cocktails all night, and they've got my favorite ever tequila. They stocked it, Casamigos, that I'm obsessed with, the George Clooney one.
I was going to say, is that the George Clooney one?
I'm looking at the bottle right now.
An empty bottle by his feet.
He goes off shot and he finds a Casamigos tequila. Oh, do you know what? Oh, listen to that. I'm going to have a sip now.
You mental person.
Oh,
a bit of ASMR from there. We had the pop, we had the gulp. Oh, it was all going on.
Yeah. Oh, and here comes the sick. No. So, for anyone who wasn't watching on YouTube, I just did a sip of tequila. I don't know why. Anyway, they had that tequila, so I was having like spicy margaritas all night, loving life. I have a story of something that happened at Birch.
Please.
And this is really annoying. It's really annoying. I don't think I can say it yet.
Okay. Why is it so
now? No, but it's just, I've never seen anything like it. It was something that happened at the comedy night, but I'm kind of waiting just to ensure that like nothing comes out about it, and I don't think it will, but for the purpose of the listeners, and I know how annoying it is, it's something like it's like when people go, "Oh, I need to tell you this." Oh, actually I can't, but it will come. Okay, I will eventually tell this story, and let me tell you, it was mental. I couldn't believe what the fuck went on. Like I was like, I've never seen anything like this.
Oh my God, what a teaser trailer.
What a teaser, guys! What a teaser. So, so yeah, we did Birch, and that was really fun. And what else did I? Oh, I'd done Scunthorpe as well, but we chatted about that already. That was when I was really hungover.
How was the old Nash
So yes,
Express?
my gigs went really well.
Was it?
Oh, I'll tell you what happened. I had an argument with the conductor.
Why? Did he kick you off?
No, he didn't kick me off. He didn't grant me that highest honour of kicking me off that fucking bus, I have to say. So I get there, and the trains were running fine. And I was like, oh, I could have just booked a train. But the reason I booked the bus is because I was just worried that they might not be running okay.
Yeah, sure.
So, and actually, to be fair, it did save me about 50 quid. So I was like, hold on to this. Like, also, you know, I'm not knocking the bus. Like, it's just long. So as long as... No, I wasn't doing it for that. I'm not. I think I'd passed being grounded a long time ago, Lauren. Like,
yeah, that's true.
So I did think, like, if you've got nothing to do all day, or you've got no real plans, the bus is fine. Like, it's air-conned, there's a port for your charger or whatever. Anyway, I get there, and I'm about, like, 10 minutes before it's meant to go, but people have got there really early, obviously. So the guy's like, London Victoria, yeah? And I was like, yes. And he grabbed my case from me. I said, oh, sorry, I'm just going to grab something from that because my laptop was in it. So I started, like, opening my case, got my laptop out, closed it again, and he'd kind of gone and done something. So I just put my case underneath the coach in the little compartments. Yeah. So he comes up, it's only a little case, and he comes up and he goes, did you put that in there? And I went, oh yeah, sorry, was I not meant to? He's like, London Victoria, right? And I went, yeah. And he went, yeah, we don't put them in there like that. There's an order because we take them off in order of cases. And I was like, oh, okay. And I thought, do you take them off in order of who's gone on the coach? Anyway, this will all make sense further down the story. So I went, oh, right, sorry. So he moved the case further to what was a different compartment next to it. Right. So I was thinking, what a random fucking situation, but whatever, not bothered. So get on the coach, don't think anything of it. And as I go on the coach, every single person is sat, but they've got 2 seats to themselves.
Right.
So it's just one person sat to 2 seats. So I'm walking down the coach, and it soon dawns on me there are no more spare 2 seats left. Yeah. So I had to choose someone.
Yeah,
I know. And you could see people were looking at me like, don't pick me. And there were people with bags on their seats. There was a guy with feet on his seat, and I thought, I really want to pick you just for having the feet on your seat. But then I thought, I don't want to be sat next to someone who puts feet on seat. Anyway, I ended up sitting next to this girl. She looked absolutely devastated. In hindsight, what I should have done is like every 10 minutes, just like swapped seats and gone, everyone's going to get a fair chance to sit next to me. Okay, this is the highest of honours. Well, apart from being thrown off the bus, it is the second highest honour. So, we're there, whatever. You stop at services halfway, and he's doing the whole, if you're not back by 5-1, then the coach will assume that you've making your own way to London. I was like, oh yeah, everyone's just decided to get off. Anyway,
everyone wants to go on the fucking Stafford services and hang out in the North Chef.
Oh, yeah, I know. And the services was rammed full of people. You know, when you go in there and you find it audacious that other people have chosen to go to the same place at the same time as you.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? It's like I'm so entitled where I'm like, how dare everyone come here when I have decided to come here? It's like, I remember being that annoying passenger once when Mum was taking me somewhere and she was like, oh, we're stuck in traffic. And I just turned to her and went, we're not stuck in traffic, Leslie. We are traffic. And she was like, oh, shut up. Anyway.
You're such a dick.
I know. So get back on the coach and we're getting into London. So going through to Victoria. And then all of a sudden I hear Finchley Road. Everyone off for Finchley Road. So what I didn't realise is it stops at Finchley Road. Yeah, I know. It stops at Finchley Road and then it carries on to Victoria. So I was thinking, right, it's going to be probably about another 20 minutes to get into Victoria from Finchley Road with traffic and stuff. I may as well get off here, jump on the tube to where I'm going and get there a bit earlier. So I was like, great. So I walk off the coach. I'm like, oh, hi. Is this, you can get off here, right? And he went, yeah. And I went, oh, I'm gonna get off here. And he went, if you can get your bag. I said, oh, my bag's in this compartment, but it was right near the front.
Compartment.
Yeah, the one next door, the door that you couldn't open. And I went, oh, he said, if you can see your bag in this compartment, you can get it. But if not, we can't open that door. And I went, oh, can you not just, because there's like a handle and everything. I was like, definitely, this coach. It's not a fucking, airline where the pilot door has to be opened by like 2 special codes. I was like, just pull the fucking door open. So I was like, oh, it's just right at the front there. And he went, if you can see your bag and you can get your bag from this compartment, you can go. And I was thinking, you don't fucking tell me whether I can get off this bus or not. So I went, all right. And I looked in the compartment that was open and I could see my bag, my suitcase, and it was like wedged in between these 2 poles, but I thought I can get that through those poles. Like I could tell the gap was big enough to grab it. So I climbed into the compartment, right?
And it shuts you in.
Grabbed my bag through. Yeah, like the chokey. Grabs my bag through and pull it out. And I look up and I went, perfect, great. And there was 2 of them, and one was the driver and the other was the conductor, and they looked genuinely furious that I had been able to accomplish it. They'd clearly said, if you can get your bag, you can, but if not, you're staying on. And they assumed I wasn't going to be able to get it because of the poles. I know. So at that point, I was like, but honestly, I just felt like fine that I'd got my bag. So I was like, perfect, thanks so much.
And
the conductor then goes, well, I was, and I wasn't being like, I was a bit smug, but at the same time, I was like more relieved, thinking, oh my god, I can
just walk away now. Yeah,
Victoria, So the conductor comes up and he starts wagging his finger in my face, and he goes, I did tell you if you were getting off at Victoria. And I went, oh no, I said I didn't hear you, I didn't know it stopped here. He went, no. And he got his finger and he went, I told you and you told me, and I said that we put it in order. And I went, oh, well, Lauren had been on a 5.5 hour coach. I went,
oh, man, did you
get your finger out of my fucking face. And he went, well, I'm just saying. And I went, I don't care. I said, I didn't hear what you said. And he went, well, I just don't like people who don't listen. And I went, you know what I don't like? I said, I don't like people who are Jobsworths. And he went, oh, you think I'm a Jobsworth? I went, yeah, I do. Any other questions? And he went, and mumble. I went, yeah, no. And I was like, but yeah, I said, I was really quite aggressive. I went, get your finger out of my fucking face.
Are you going to complain? What was his name?
I don't know his name, but
they did send me a feedback form
to fill in. Well, do you know what it was? It was like, it wasn't like I'd said, it wasn't like I couldn't get my case and I was kicking off. Like, he could have maybe then said, I told you at the front, I'd got my case. There was no issue. What was the issue for him was, he was annoyed that I'd won, if you know what I mean. Like, he was totally and utterly, like, pissed off that I'd been able to get my case, thinking that I wouldn't. Anyway, they sent me a feedback form, and they sent me a feedback form. I filled it out, and everything got like good or very satisfied, and then it came to staff on board, and I was like, very dissatisfied. Learn some manners. You need to train your staff.
Biggest dickhead ever.
Like, honestly, wagging his finger right in my face as if he was going to start a fight. I was like,
that's like a comedy character.
Off you pop, mate. The thing is, this is the thing though, Lauren. People look at me and they think I won't say anything, and they get shocked when they know that I have a mouth on me, because I can be mouthy, as you well know.
People do it to me as well, and it takes a lot for me to like. But if there's like a bit of injustice, I did it to someone in the street the other day, and I just like told someone to fuck off, because there was this cyclist on the pavement, right? And Freddie went, mate, you're not meant to, as a cyclist, he knows it's like bad etiquette and like cuts you up and stuff, and it's just dangerous. So Freddie went to this fella, he went, oh, mate, don't cycle on the pavement, get on the road. And he went, oh, shut up. And I just turned back and I was like, fuck off, mate. You don't know what to say because it was psychopath. I just needed something really quick. But it was like Freddie's fight, kind of thing. Like Freddie had just said politely, and this guy had just been such a twat. I was like, fuck off. Freddie was like, wow.
There's nothing better. There's nothing better sometimes than just going, oh, shut the fuck up. Like, there's nothing. Did I tell you about the time that a man chased me through Euston Station, and I genuinely thought he was going to kill me. Like, I thought he was going to rip my head off. He was that angry. We had been stuck on a train for 5.5 hours. I'd sat on the train thinking I should have got the National Express.
Oh my God, if only I'd got the National Express.
I know, if only I could have got off at Finchley Road by now.
Damn it.
So we've been stuck. It was one of those like rare occasions, like, there's always delays or generally, but like this time it was like there was floods, and it was like 5-hour delay. God, it was really bad. So we eventually get into London, and I go down at Euston, you go down to the tube and whatever, and I had a case with me, and oh no, I didn't. I just had like a backpack or something, and I I went through to this gate, and someone was faffing around at one of the gates. So I turned to the other one, and as I went in, this guy like was shooting in, like kind of trying to run in, and then stopped. And I looked at him, and we both stopped at the same time, and I looked at him to like signal to go, and he went. I'm going to also describe this for the benefit of the listeners. He like got his hand and like violently signaled it for me to go. He was like, ugh, like it was like go, like almost like shoved me in him. Like he was red in the face with anger, but he was basically like, just go. Yeah. So I looked at him and I went, right. I went, mate, don't even start with me. And like he went, what? And I went, seriously? I said, you put your hand elsewhere. It's fingers, it's hands. I don't like it when people get all handsy. It's
so aggressive, yeah, because you're like, fuck off. Like,
yeah.
Oh, God,
and then he went, you what? And he like steamed up, and I went, not today. And I walked through the gate. Anyway, I could hear him. Going, oi, oi. And he put like his Oyster card in, and I turned back, and he ran through, but his suitcase got stuck in the gates of the thing. So he was going, oi, you get back, like, and so I like tried to remain calm,
but really like he's going to kill
me. I was walking down the escalator, and I thought I don't want to look back, and I could hear him going, oi, oi, but he was obviously trying to get his suitcase, and I was thinking, this guy is going to kill me. So I get off the escalator, and I see him coming down the escalator with his suitcase, like running with his suitcase, and I
that probably made him more angry in the suitcase thing as well.
I turned to go, because I like looked back and was like, ha, and then I turned to go to the Northern Line, and as I get round the corner, I ran, because I was thinking, this guy is going to absolutely, like, he's been on the train for 5 hours with me, he's going to kill me. Anyway, I was like running, but I didn't want him to see me running, so I waited. I was like sauntering down like little gay boy, like, bye bitch. And then as I got down, I was like, I was like, he's going to kill me. And then luckily there was a train, and I just jumped on, and as the doors like shut and I was going back, I saw him like come down and look, and I was like, oh, I thought he would have killed me. He would have absolutely like beat me to a pulp.
But you've got to think about these people who are just like so aggressive like all the time. Imagine what it's like in real life to be around. I know. Horrible. Just horrible.
Well, do you know what I felt like with the conductor? Afterwards, I was thinking about it on the tube, because I thought he thought it was okay to go up to someone, start pointing in their face like they're some sort of like chastised school child, and he was like this big, bald, northern old man, and I thought, you've grown up with this attitude and this kind of bravado of everyone listens to what I've got to say, and you know, and and I'm like, mate, seriously, get your fucking finger out of my face.
Get it out, twat.
I remember one time my friend, it wasn't my friend, well, I was with my friend, and do you know, not Sunita, Rowetta? Do you remember Rowetta from X Factor?
No. What? Like a contestant?
You will. She was in the Happy Mondays, and she's like, she's a Mancunian singer.
I do know what you mean, yeah.
Yeah, anyway, I loved Rowetta. Like, she was an absolute icon, like, just hilarious. She did a candlelit vigil once. My friend tells me this story all the time, and it's so funny because she was doing this candlelit vigil for HIV and AIDS, and it's like really sad, and on it, like, there's a singer always on it that breaks the kind of minute silence, and it's always really poignant. Anyway, she was singing something, I can't remember what she was singing, maybe like Wind Beneath My Wings or whatever, and she's singing it, there's candles everywhere, and she goes, did you ever know, and she croaks, and then she goes like down the mic and coughs, and then she goes, oh, You can tell it's live. And then it carries on. And my friend who was like running this vigil was like, okay. And he always goes, oh, you can tell it's live. But like halfway through this really poignant moment. Anyway.
God, everyone's weeping.
I go into a bar once. Yeah, I go into a bar once in Manchester. And like sat at the bar is Rowetta. And I'm really drunk. And I was with my friend. And I looked and I went, oh my God, it's Rowetta. And I pointed at her like some weird fan. Like, I don't get like fanny with people who are proper like stars, but with Rowetta, I was like, oh my God, it's Rowetta. Like, how funny. I went, oh my God, it's Rowetta. I love you. I went, I saw you in the Sound of Sister Act or something. And she goes, you keep that finger in my face, I'll bite it fucking off. And I was like, oh. Anyway, I always wanted to adopt that. Like, I always wanted to say, yeah. I always wanted to say, you point that finger in my face and I'll bite it off. But then I always remember thinking, that's not my brand. Like, no one would look at me and think, he's the type of person that goes around biting people's fingers. So mine's like, get your finger out of my face. Lauren, all I have done this entire episode is talk. Like, what the hell?
I think it's the tequila. I think it's the George Clooney tequila. It's really got into you there. Also, we've done a classic, Lauren and Lee. We're now on 35 minutes.
We've done it.
And we still haven't we do plan what we're going to talk about. And sometimes we just don't fucking talk about that thing. It was meant to be holidays. But you know what? We're going to record that next time. That's
Yes. We've got some icks though, haven't we? Should we read out some of the icks that people sent?
Fucking hell, I love icks, man. Did you actually one of the ones that got sent in was from a Fab Lifer who I saw at the weekend, and he came to visit me, and I haven't seen him in 8 years. He's my friend from sixth form.
Oh my God, I saw you put it on your story. I was like, why are all these male Fab Lifers incredibly handsome? I have to say, Lauren, how do you know this boy?
So we went to sixth form together. We go way back, and he's lived with me a good few times in and around London.
Has he?
Yeah, but also he's cabin crew, so he has a lot of
you can tell it's live.
You can tell it's live. You can tell she went out the day before. She's got the hangover husk again. He's cabin crew, so he always has like loads of good stories. He also said, he was like, you too. He was like, I've just done a binge listen, so he'd been listening, like catching up loads. He was like, you talk about flying all the time. He's like, you're both obsessed with holidays, but you don't realise you're doing it. And I was like, no way.
And we're meant to be talking about holidays today.
I know, it's so funny because I think we're subliminally doing it all the time. Well, also, I just said, we're just waiting for that BA sponsorship, to be like, do you like to fly? Well, with Lauren and Lee, use code FabLife at checkout.
Oh my God, yes. And we met working as brand ambassadors, so we could call it from BA to BA and really go really good, really good.
Do a whole YouTube ad for it. It was going to be great. Let's get in touch with him. I'll ask him. Okay. Yeah, he did send a nick in, and it was people who wear trainer socks. Those like little socks, like. You know what I mean, don't you? Trainer socks. I'm trying to.
Like invisible ones, or ones that you can see in your ankle. The ones that
like you can see them, but they're like dipped underneath the ankle, if you know what I mean. I'm going to find his exact message. And they're like...
Yeah, I think I know what you mean.
Because I think it's quite specific.
They were quite popular in like 2009, 2008, weren't they?
But now it's like,
and then
don't wear
invisible
socks.
Ones came in.
Yeah, it's like, don't wear socks. Or, but the invisible ones you can't see. He put saggy, bobbly white sports socks, not fully fitted on one's foot, gives me the absolute ick, and I've dumped someone for this reason. So he fully dumped someone. Or like, when someone's got white clothes on as well, like white boxers or white socks, and they're not white anymore, it's like, just chuck them out. Just chuck them out, guys. And then I've got another Insta one as well. And it's like, my ick is when I show my husband a video or photo on my phone and he uses his thumb and his first finger in a pincer way to try and enlarge it. Turn the bloody phone around, you
I know
donk.
what you mean.
I
actually think one of... Yeah. I think one of my icks actually are those case things. Like if a guy had one of those flip case things, I'd be like, ugh, I don't mind it. Like
a 6-year-old woman.
Women. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like older women, you can have a flip case. Like that's totally fine, and I don't have anything against them. But if a guy had that, I think I'd be like, or if if I saw a guy using a stylus,
like tap tap tap.
You remember styluses?
No.
Whatever happened to them?
I don't know. Disgusting.
Laura on YouTube has sent in, Laura Lawler, as she said, my icks are men with long fingernails. Yeah. Sandals and socks. She says, I do sometimes like some Birkenstocks with a sock.
I've come round to that.
Statement sock.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'll sometimes wear my sliders with socks as well. But I think it's like sliders, if you have proper like sports socks, like I wouldn't do them any others.
It's the sandals, you know, like the Velcro straps, like the proper walking sandals with socks on. They're disgusting. They should just be banned.
And she's put Crocs.
Yeah. Big Crocs.
Women wearing see-through black leggings showing their arse, and women showing a thong. I don't think she likes underwear or
she doesn't like
hosiery, is it?
Yeah, cheap leggings though, they're not good. Not good. And you can't tell someone, because if you go up to a woman and be like, I'm so sorry, you can see through your leggings, like when you bend over, they'll be like, what? But it's kind of like, no, you need to invest in a legging.
Do you tell, is it polite if you told a woman she had a ladder?
Yeah, maybe, because she might not know if it's at the back. And like someone said that to me before, and I knew I had it because it happened early in the day. Yeah. I just like couldn't do anything about it, and I've just gone, oh my god, I know I need to get some new. Like it's fine unless the person's like really insecure, and then they might go like, yeah. But yeah, it's probably all right, especially if it's on the back of the leg and they can't see it.
Well, isn't there a rule that's? I'm sure someone tweeted once, and they said you should only tell someone something about their appearance that's negative if it can be changed within 20 minutes or something.
Oh,
like,
that's a good rule. Yeah, and a tights can. Yeah, so like boots and buy some new tights, whatever.
Yeah, or like, you know, if you see someone at a party and they're wearing a dress and you go, oh my god, I hate the dress, whereas you wouldn't say that, like, but whereas if you were getting ready together and she came in and you were like, I don't like the dress, and she could then go on and put another one on. Changed. Do you know what I mean? Like that, or like with hair or stuff. Or I
always get lipstick all over my chin as well when I eat. Which I know I do, but sometimes I think I've got it off, and then people go, "Oh, you've just got lipstick." I like prefer it, and then I get
it can be
mascara
removed.
Up here, and I'm walking around all day with like fucking dots of mascara, and people don't. Even Freddie's like, "Well, I just thought you're just used to it now," and I'm like, "No, still tell me that I've got mascara on my
don't tell me if I've got terrible eyebrows or if I've got like anything that can't be changed right now, unless I'm in the eyebrow. No, they're not. They look great. That's what I was just thinking. I was like, haven't you got strong eyebrows? But like. But tell me if I've got, makeup on my eyebrows that I can just wipe off.
Or like when someone's got food in the teeth.
Infamous fight.
Oh God, you what?
Me and friend of the pod, Amy, dear Amy, had like a big argument once. We always laugh about it, but like we were out for dinner. Oh, she's gonna hate me telling this story because she'll be like, "You make me sound like a right bitch." And we were out for dinner and we were really drunk, and I'd had my hair cut that day, quite short and quite a different style. And you know how protective I am over my hair, like
so protective, ever so, yeah.
And she's just there at the dinner, and halfway through conversation, she's like looking at me. And you know when someone's looking at you and like thinking something, and she goes, I don't know if I like your hair. And I was like, and I went, and I was so tired. I'd been up since like 4 a.m. that morning. I remember I'd done a radio show that morning at like 6 or 5 a.m. So I was like knackered. And I was like, why would you be so rude? And she was like, what? And I was like, that's so rude. I was like, it just makes people feel bad about themselves. Like, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm not sat in a hairdresser's right now. I've just had it cut. Like, and then the next day it was like, oh my gosh, you really had to go at me. And we've laughed about it ever since. But I'm still not over it. So every time I see her, I'm like, do you like the hair? And she's like, yeah, love it.
Yeah, love it. My mum always says that when we talk about Amy, she feels like it's Lily Savage, with Avera. Like, you never see them. Like, are they even real? Kind of thing. Because we're both Amy said this, Amy said that. And it's like, is she real? Is she a real person?
She is. Well, some would think she is a fictional character with some of the The antics she gets up to are Amy. It's like Larry Grayson.
Yeah.
His Pop It in Peart and Vera or whoever. Is it Vera? No, that's Lily. You've just said that. All right, stop talking, Lee.
It's Alan Carr with... Is his Veronica? Who's his housemate?
Monica.
That's it. It's the same with that. But Amy is real, guys. She just happens to be that funny.
She is. She's very real.
Any more icks on YouTube, Lee? A good one to end
no
on,
icks
perhaps?
on there. Not that I can see. A couple of nice comments, but no icks. People are ick free, I think. Although Michelle does say she agrees that it is rude asking for money off your cookies, Lauren. So
Thanks,
she supports
Michelle.
you.
Solidarity.
I stand with Dolly 6. She's going to be on the picket line. Oh my God, we need to talk about the rail strike. Solidarity to those rail strikers. That's what I'm saying.
I can't even keep up with all the political madness at the moment. There's just so much scandalo going down. And you know what replaced cost of living crisis? As the saying of the week last week was Tiverton and Honiton. I was like, if I hear those two towns that I've never fucking heard of said one more time, honestly, outrage. I nearly text you.
I know you're like Tiverton and Honiton. Where's the postcode for that? Fucking Narnia. We've never heard it. It sounds like something's made up.
Sounds like out of Harry Potter.
I tell you that though. On my way to Newton Llewellows, I'm walking through Piccadilly train station because there was a reduced service. I had to get to Newton Llewellows at like 5 and the gig started at bloody 8:15.
Oh, God.
Anyway, walking through the train station, I'm thinking, oh, this is great. Totally empty. Only one train running. Walk through. I'm thinking, I don't need a fucking ticket for this. No one's at work. Ticket inspector stops me. I'm like, oh yeah, you're not fucking picketing today, are you? There's no strike for the revenue inspectors. I had to go buy a bloody ticket. I was furious. I know. I was
and
like,
they don't let you buy it anymore. They used to let you buy it.
Yeah, I know.
And it was so much easier. Ugh, bastards.
I was like, why aren't you guys striking? He's like, oh, some of us are, but we're agency staff. I was like, oh, God, yeah, of course they've got the bloody revenue ones. I was like, solidarity to the rail workers. I'll go and pay £5. I was just being tight. It was my own fault.
It's being tight, trying to get away with it.
Then I might have to go pop a Calms or a rescue remedy just to come down off the ledge.
Have a CBD gummy before I go to bed. Yeah, it has been episode 19 of Fab Life Lauren and Lee, and thanks for listening. I guess is what we're going to say. And you can watch us on YouTube, Lee. What are you on YouTube? Because it's on your page, isn't it? You can obviously search for Fab Life with Lauren and Lee.
Well. Search by my name, or just search Fab Life with Lauren and Lee, and it'll come up. There's no rival podcasts. Also, I was going to say this has been episode 19, which happens to be the name of Adele's first album, which happens to be an artist I'm seeing this Saturday in Hyde Park.
God.
Expect the lowdown from that, because I'm going to see Adele for the second time, and I'm so excited.
Friend of the pod, another Amy, actually got last-minute tickets to watch the Rolling Stones on Saturday as well. So it's all going on in British summertime. Some absolute legends. I can't wait to see some videos on your story where they're like, oh my God, love it, but all you can hear is you singing. Do you love that when people are at gigs, but all you can hear is them fucking singing?
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to sing. I think, I'll sing for a few of the bops, but I think I'm going to just be like there, like really in the moment, and I'm going to try and not get too drunk. And also Gabrielle's performing. She's one of the support acts.
Oh my God.
Legends.
I know. Absolute legends. Yeah, it's huge.
Legends.
Well, we can't wait.
Yeah, I'm going to get there early just to make sure I can get a good spot and make sure I'm on Gabrielle's good side, if you know what I mean. But
savage. Make sure she can see you on that side of the stage.
It's probably really bad making jokes about that, but it's funny, and she is a legend. I mean, some of her songs. Well, Adele said Gabrielle is one of her favourite artists, so
she must have influenced her, because she's like another queen of ballads, isn't she, Gabrielle?
She's incredible. I actually saw her at Manchester Live, so Manchester Pride. So I'm really looking forward to that. So expect the lowdown on that. We will eventually talk about holidays as well and the hot weather that we've been meaning to for the last 2 weeks. But until then, you know how to survive a whale attack. You know to say, if you wag your finger in your face, I'll bite it off.
Yeah.
You if you want to get some kicks, you can sit on a magnum of Prosecco and pretend you're a Pez. And
So many life
much
tips
more
this week.
educational.
Yeah, so many life tips.
The Polish listener has definitely turned off at this point.
Yeah.
We've definitely lost Poland, guys.
It's gone. We've lost Poland. Any other countries want to join us? Let us know if you're listening.
Okay, this has been episode 19 of Fab Life.
With Lauren and Lee.